All right, Marty, thank you. 7:40 this morning. We're about a month away from Dancing with the Stars' Derek Hough's performance in the area. He's bringing his new show, Symphony of Dance, to Del Lago. So, big question here. What is Symphony of Dance? Well, I had the chance to speak with him all about it. Let's talk. You're coming to the area. Congratulations on the new show, Symphony of Dance.
Yes.
Where did the inspiration for this come from, and what can audiences expect?
Yes, man. Well, yeah, we have kicked off this amazing tour and it has gone down amazingly so far. The reactions have been unbelievable. And my inspiration for the show is really a rock concert for dance, really, if you think about it. You know, you go there, we have a live band, we have a celloist, we have saxophone, we have percussion, that live music feeling. But of course, an amazing cast of dancers, beautiful, beautiful costumes. I think we have about 20 different changes, and a beautiful set piece, lighting. It's high impact, high energy, all different genres of music from big band music to Latin music to tango to contemporary to rock and roll. It's a really jam-packed night, really is, but it's got a lot of heart to it as well. So, you know, I think the reactions have been sort of like, I didn't really expect to cry, or I didn't expect to feel this emotion, coming to see the show. You know, we had a laugh, we had a good time, but there's a lot to expect. And then, hopefully we exceed those expectations when you come.
And you know, I'm glad you talked about the emotion behind it, the emotion it gives the audience or allows the audience to feel, because I do want to talk about that. We know that dance has the power to inspire, to uplift. What is it about this show that's resonating most with the audience?
You know, I think it's a couple things. I think, you know, the song choices, creating the playlist for this tour, was really important to me. I've worked several months on it. I worked with, you know, musicians and getting the right music together to really, you know, because for me that's where it all begins, right? With a song that can move you, has the power to evoke an emotion, has the power to unlock a memory, make you feel something. And starting at that point, and then working with these incredible dancers who blow me away every single night. I mean, you think you're coming to see, you know, me, it's Derek Hough, you know, Symphony of Dance. But when you leave, you realize, like, wow, I've witnessed some beautiful, extraordinary dancing from this amazing cast of dancers. And I think part of what that feeling is, I believe, is that it's primal. It's primal. I think that we all have this movement within us. Think about, you know, when people say, "Oh, I don't dance." I'm like, well, you are a dance. I mean, think about our hearts. It's the drum that we dance to every single day. It's the rhythm that's been keeping us alive since the day we opened our eyes. You know, it's rhythm is everything, really. It's what keeps this world moving. It's like rhythm is everywhere. And I think that when we watch dance, when we listen to music, when we feel that, it's connecting to a part of ourselves that is kind of just there. It's primal. And but we also just have a good time. There's a lot of comedy in this show. And also, of course, my beautiful wife, she's dancing with me. She's in the show, of course, as well. So there's a lot of love in there, and I think that also resonates with people as well. And I'm so proud of the show. It's just such a beautiful show.
What is it like working with your spouse, with your significant other? Any challenges?
You know what? Honestly, it's been pretty great, because I think one of the hardest things about touring is being away from your loved ones. You know, is being away from, you know, your spouse or your girlfriend or whomever it might be. And so it's been wonderful that at the end of the night you're like, oh, hey babe, you know, we're together. You know, it's wonderful. But yeah, it's been pretty great. I think that the one thing I'll say, like, you know, if you're rehearsing and stuff, you know, when you're dancing with somebody, you know, y'all say, hey, let's try this, let's do this. And usually if you're working with a dance, they're like, okay, they're like, all right, let's do it. And with her, it's just like, well, why are we doing that? And I'm like, oh, you know.
Little pushback.
So there's a little pushback there sometimes, but honestly, I'm trying to find something, honestly, but because the truth is, it really is just a pleasure, and it's wonderful working together, and it's beautiful. And this, again, this show, there's a lot of reflection of love in this show. And so it's just each night we get to relive a beautiful moment on stage. So it's really great.
I want to go back a little bit if we can. I don't know how much time we have, but I'm going to take whatever you can give me. I
Sure.
want to talk about your journey as a performer, as an entertainer, and more specifically as a dancer, because that's what we're touring with right now. Your career really kind of took off at the age of 11. That's when you discovered, I suppose, the love of the art, right?
Yeah, I originally didn't want to go to dance. You know, I had four sisters, and my mom kind of made me go because I was just sitting in the parking lot. But I went in there, and I was like, you know, I don't want to go in there. There's girls in there, and then I walked in. I was like, wait, there's girls in here. This is kind of fun, you know. and I had a really great coach, great teacher who just made dancing cool. You know, he made it really cool for me. And his name was Rick Robinson, and just a great guy. And I had the opportunity to travel around, you know, to travel around the world, and dance took me places. But again, going back to that primal feeling, the feeling of connecting to music was amazing. Because before I danced, I actually played the drums. I was a drummer in a band, and so I connected to rhythm. I connected to the beats, and I understood counts. So yeah, I kind of got wrapped up into it. Moved to England when I was 12 years old to train, and it became, you know, my life essentially, you know. And it's been amazing to think that I've been able to turn a career into it, because, you know, growing up too, I wasn't really sort of celebrated for being a dancer. I was bullied and teased and stuff at school, and so now years later to be able to share this with thousands of, or even millions of people, you know, on Dancing with the Stars or World of Dance, it's been pretty special.
And I mean, it's paid off. It all worked out in the long run. What are we looking at? We've got six champions in franchise history for ABC's Dancing with the Stars. We've got 3-time Emmy Award winner and 12-time nominee for male choreographer. That's incredible. When you started, did you ever think that was possible?
No, not at all. I think, honestly, I think the only thing I was thinking about when I was in the competitive world in ballroom and Latin dancing was wanting to be a world champion and train in that, you know, that sort of small world. And so I had that competitive spirit in me, you know, always, and wanting to strive and progress and to achieve and just to get better. But then as far as, you know, Dancing with the Stars, you know, it was unbelievable to have that opportunity to really learn how to be a coach, learn how to be a mentor, learn how to teach, learn how to choreograph. It really was just sort of my training ground, if you will. And all those nominees and Emmys and stuff, I feel so fortunate, because I feel like a big part of that is just having the opportunity to create on television. You know, there's extraordinary choreographers and people I work with, and even on my show, Symphony of Dance, for this tour, I have the most amazing choreographers, and their pieces are in the show. Because I love to create, but I love to learn even more, and I love to collaborate, and that's the idea of a symphony as well. By the way, it's the idea of a symphony is not just the music; it's the idea of collaboration. It's the idea of bringing people together. It's the idea of that as individuals, we all play our instruments, we all have our gifts, but when we come together, we become something so much greater than the sum of our parts. We become a beautiful symphony, and that's what the show is all about, and that's what the sort of the message is and the feeling is. But yeah, I had no idea that dance was going to take me so many places and introduce me to so many people, and help me share so much with so many people.
Does dance inform your other artistic pursuits? I mean, the TV, the movies, the singing, all of the rest of the stage work, or vice versa? Do those creative outlets inspire the dance?
Well, I think for me, the big influence that dance will always have on me is discipline. You know, my discipline and work ethic. I think being a dancer, you know, you do it. The work that goes into being a dancer is outrageous. Really, it's insanity. You know, the amount of hours, the blood, the sweat, the tears, literal blood, literal sweat, like that goes into it. the athleticism, the financial, it costs a lot of money, and there's a lot that goes into it. And but you do it, and the reward really is, at least so up until this point, really has been nothing much. Maybe a plastic trophy, perhaps, and maybe a pat on the back, or maybe just bragging rights because you did well in a competition. But there was no real proper, like, reward, if you will, except for the gift of just the love of it. And I think that creates a powerful discipline, and that's why I have so much respect for dancers, because what just the work that goes into it is, it's extraordinary. And so I think for me, what informs me in all my different aspects of my life is that discipline, is that work ethic of just like getting in there and just doing the work, and just making it happen. So yeah, I think dance has been a huge influence in everything that I do.
How many performances with this tour? Do you know offhand?
Yeah, we've done, we will have 60 cities. 60 cities.
And this is not the first time you've done a tour of this caliber, of this quality. But you have to be able to deliver every time you get on stage. How do you maintain peak, physical performance and emotional performance while you're up there? Because I mean, the day takes a toll on you, but it doesn't matter to ticket holders.
No, absolutely not. And for me, that is very, very important to me. And I think anybody who's come and see my shows, that is one thing I can promise to deliver, is a lot of energy every single night. And to answer your question, as far as like staying healthy, staying at peak state, staying at peak performance, my entire day when I'm on tour is dedicated to recovery. And so then I peak right at the perfect time. We have an amazing physical therapist. I do 2 ice baths a day, in the mornings and the evenings. I eat the right foods, the supplements, the hydration, everything, because I think for me, that's the most important part, actually, is to have this energy that I'm able to sort of project and share out there onto the stage. I've done this many, many times, and I kind of have a rhythm and I have a routine. And it's been working. It's been good. Things happen, unfortunately, in the past, but honestly, I've been pretty strong, knock on wood, pretty good. And actually I'll be doing Dancing with the Stars at the same time. So today I'm actually filming Dancing with the Stars, live, and then I'll be flying to Salt Lake City tomorrow morning, and then doing 5 shows in a row, fly back. 5 shows in a row in different states, by the way, different places, Colorado, all around, and then fly back and do Dancing with the Stars again. So for me, I think that doing a lot, it's all about momentum, energy. I'm moving, I'm keeping it moving, keeping it strong, keeping it healthy. So, but yeah.
So right now it's Symphony of Dance.
Yes.
And Dancing with the Stars, of course. What's the future look like? What 10 years from now, if we were to sit down and chat, what would you hope would happen in that amount of time?
Oh my goodness.
Do you have goals set out for yourself?
Yeah. There's definitely a few projects right now. One project I'm working on, with National Geographic, that I just shot a pilot for, and very proud of it. And it's a passion project of mine. It's about, traveling across the world and around the world into the origins of where these dances came from, and learning the cultures, the people, and learning and exploring. And it's a adventure / dance, culture show, which is a big passion project of mine. So that's definitely on the books. And I think, honestly, for me too, not just career and things, but family. I've just become a married man, and I'm looking forward to becoming a dad, hopefully, here in the future. So lots of plans, lots of big plans.
Well, early congratulations on that. I do want to just one more question, and then I promise I'll let you go. For Symphony of Dance, I know it's yes, it is. It's your energy. It's the other performers' energy. but
Sure.
I know you're feeding off of the energy that that audience is giving you. I know that
Oh
that
yeah.
sustains a performer throughout the show. What is that?
Oh my goodness. Well, it's that shared experience, and there's nothing like, people ask me like, "What's your favorite thing to do?" Is it television? Is it movies? Is it this? And like for me, it's live performance. It's live performing. It's touring. It's going into somebody's city, into their home, and to have that shared experience. I mean, the beginning of the show is quite beautiful, and there's a very dramatic moment that happens. And honestly, the first night, when the moment happened, and you feel that audience, like you said, it is a rush of adrenaline, a rush of energy, and that shared experience is it's unlike anything else. It really is irreplaceable. It really is. It's very special, and so far, the energy from the audiences and the crowds have been extraordinary. And I've done several of these tours, and I will tell you right now, one, I'm most proud of this show, but two, the audiences have been more responsive and more just connected with this show than any other show I've ever done. And so it's very exciting. It's very exciting. So I love the people, man. I love the people, but I truly do. I truly do. I love it so much.
Well, it sounds like the hard work is paying off, and the audiences, they're getting louder and bigger because you're allowing them to, because you're showing up and you're doing your thing.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you. Thank you.